good evening. This is Nicolina, Nix, and again, you're here with another episode of Women, Wit, and Wine. And tonight's episode is called The Curveball, and for me, the curveball is definitely when you think life is going smoothly, somebody throws that curveball at you, and all of a sudden you're wide awake, and it's a little bit almost like a punch in the gut. It's like, okay, here you are, and this is where we are in life. You're not as far as you thought you were. It's that 2-step forward, 1 step back. Whether it's losing your job, losing a relationship, finding out something about a friend that you're not necessarily interested in knowing, but yet they come forward with it. It's a punch in the gut kind of thing. My guest here tonight is Wendy Carson, and I invited her because we kind of have some things going on here in life right now, and I think it's a good topic to talk about. Tonight's wine, of course, is called Thank You. It is a Moscato. If you like a sweet wine,
I do.
It's the theme for me with the wine called Thank You is called almost like that saying called Thank You, sir, may I have another. Like thank you, you beat my ass. Please just give me another beating. because that kind of seems where life takes us a lot of the times. Not intentionally, but definitely unexpectedly. So, and again, I invited Wendy here tonight to come in here and talk about it. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Putting in some grass in my backyard, some sod, and to level the dirt, put some manure down, the whole shebang. So, this ice cold wine is going to be really fantastic.
I hope so. One of the things that people talk about is they can always hear the sound of the wine in the background because this is a boom mic, so you don't have to worry about the sound or people not hearing you. It will pick up a lot, which has made it awesome for the show because I do have some soft-spoken guests sometimes. It's kind of a sweet wine. I usually do a lot of red. But again, this kind of came to me, when I was shopping today and said, thank you, sir, may I have another?
Smack me in the head one more time.
Do you remember what Animal House?
Oh, which part?
Where they were doing the hazing.
Oh, yes.
The hazing comes with, they were paddling them, and it was, thank you, sir, may I have another? Thank you, sir, may I have another? Right. And to me, that's kind of how life feels sometimes.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
So, let's talk about, where you are today.
Well, I am out of balance.
Aren't we all?
Yes. So, in a sense, I have good things going on and not so good things. So, the good things are really wonderful, but the not so good things I'm still trying to process and figure out now why is it that way? And what am I doing? And how can I change this? And, what do I need to fix is what I think about those parts. So I don't know what to do. And then when I don't know what to do, I sort of keep myself busy with other things until something comes up, and then I can go towards it, grasp it. But right now I have no clue.
Sometimes it's about taking control of where you are now. And for me, it's like I've kind of learned since starting this show really is we can't control what's outside of us, but we certainly control how we react to it.
Oh yeah.
And it's unfortunate because for me, I'm a personality that when I can't control something, I tend to want to grab tighter. Mm-hmm. I want to hold on because I want to fix it. I want to fix what's wrong. I want to take care of this.
Right.
Because if I feel like I'm in control, then it makes it easier. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't because I'm really not in control of what that other person feels or what that outside source feels. So.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Yeah, the more you grasp onto it, it just seems like it kind of floats away and falls away like sand.
But definitely keeping yourself busy helps.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been flying, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm working on getting my glider pilot's license, so that should be fun. What else am I doing? Oh, I'm going to school.
What are you going to school for?
I'm getting my master's in English and education. So when you asked me to be on this show, I kind of thought, this is really interesting because I have my special education teaching license, and I taught special education this year, which I'm not anymore. But that's not what my degree is in. It was, and then I switched it. And then I thought, I go to work, this principal tells me I'm a horrible teacher and I should rethink, my whole 10 years. It took me 10 years to get my bachelor's degree.
Wow.
Rethink that. Rethink going in. I'm halfway through my master's degree. You really should rethink what you're going to do for a living because I don't think teaching is for you. Well, it's like, really? I wanted to smack her in the ass and say, really?
But here's my thing about this. Let's talk about this. My daughter went to school to be a dental assistant. Worked for 2 dentists, and of course she was going through some diabetic issues, where she's a type 1 diabetic. She had 2 dentists tell her, well, maybe this is not for you. So here's my question. Why let them win?
Well, she's not going to win. I just think special education's not for me. Teaching preschool may not be for me. I think I need to stick to what my original plan is, and that's English literature and teaching at a university eventually. But the crap or the sucky thing between that is I have that in-between space. Okay, so now what do I do with that in-between space?
So have you thought about teaching English as a second language?
I would have to get endorsed to do that. And that's a bunch of classes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? I didn't know because I have a friend who her spouse passed away and she's going to be doing it voluntarily. But however, I was wondering, is that something that is really something that you can do as a career kind of thing, where you can teach people as a second language? Because there's so many people that have come in and don't have that skill.
Right, and that is in high demand in the schools.
And being that
TESOL.
you're specialized in English, I would think that you could definitely do something with that.
I probably could. I know there's some training that I'd have to go through. I have to get certified. But that's a good idea, actually. And then, like, my long-term goal would be travel, so that would help out in that sense. Probably teach abroad. That's my challenge, though, Nicolina, is I'm always thinking on the horizon. Like, when I'm in that airplane and it's balanced and it's flying good and I'm in control, I feel amazing. It's like, yeah, this is where I belong in the sky. But then, it's the now that I need to work on.
Absolutely. You need to live in the moment.
Now.
So,
I
mean, speaking of this is you were looking at this earlier, is I just actually ordered this. It came in the mail today, and it's a law of attraction planner for a year. And it basically talks about, in 90 seconds, you kind of have to answer certain questions about what you want to do. Where do you want to? There's actually affirmations on the cover of the book, which I think it's an amazing kind of book. And I kind of bought it kind of on a whim, thinking, okay, maybe this is what I need to focus me. To know what I really want, because I'm one of those people that I'm a kind of the square peg in a round hole.
Right. Yeah.
And I think you probably feel the same way. Absolutely. A lot of the times. When we're that square peg and you don't quite fit, how do you move past that?
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
So
past that.
So I kind of got this book, and it definitely is for a year, and it talks about goals and meditation and stuff like that, and I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Tomorrow is my first day of starting this book, so
it's pretty.
I'm pretty excited about it, and then of course it comes with a 90-day tablet of goals, daily goals. So we'll see where this goes. I'm really kind of thinking about what is my direction today.
Right. Yeah. What is my direction today?
Yeah.
Because tomorrow we don't have control of that. It's just
Have you
out of our hands.
ever done the thing of, I had somebody once tell me, sometimes you got to let the universe guide you. And some days it's kind of getting in your car, and this is how you start working it. You get in your car and you say, what direction would you like me to take today?
Let's go to the bar off I-95. No.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? Because like it says, okay, I want you to go down Manal.
Right.
No, you should go down Eubank.
Right.
But there's a reason that this pops into your mind, and you have to kind of be open to it a little bit and say, what direction am I going today? What is it that you have planned for me today?
And following your intuition. I have a friend of mine. His name's Brian Benson.
Uh-huh.
He's sort of a motivational speaker, and he's written a couple of books. He's got a children's book out now. But he told me that just 2 days ago. I said, you know what? He's just so carefree. I mean, he moved to LA. He's an actor. He does his thing, and he's like, you know what, Wendy? I just live by my intuition. And he's like, you need to start doing that more. Just like what you just said. Get in your car or wake up in the morning and say, okay, universe, where are you going to lead me today?
Yeah.
So, that's sort of affirming what he was telling me. So I should probably do that. I'll do that tomorrow.
I think you should. I mean, it really is. I mean, I kind of have found that kind of doing that and getting in my car and then finding out that, because I've gone down Manal, it's because I've avoided a traffic jam on Wyoming because that was my direction to work. Mm-hmm. But if I go down this way, it's a little bit better for me. I'm avoiding something that the universe is asking me to avoid. So I think about this in the long term of how we're going to deal with daily life. So it's about living in the moment. It's about living in, okay, tomorrow is never a guarantee. So what can you control today? Say, you make your list. You say, this is what I want to accomplish today. Tomorrow, I can worry about that in the morning.
Right.
And so, because I think a lot of us spend a lot of time about what tomorrow is going to bring. Well, I don't know. I could be dead tomorrow.
Right. What's the outcome?
I could. I could get hit by a bus when I leave my house tonight. Not that it's likely because they don't come down my street, but you never know. Right? You absolutely never know. But there's a plan. There's a greater plan, and we have to be willing to say, you know what? Maybe you saved me from that crappy job.
Absolutely. I was getting sick and my hair was starting to fall out and I was vomiting.
So there you go. It saved you from this horrible job.
It saved me.
It saved you from a bad relationship. Let's talk about how relationships is you remember when I was madly in love, blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. And he was a little bit more broken than what I anticipated, and now he's married to the same exact personality that he was married to the first 2 times.
Oh, I see.
But, so here's my thing. The universe saved me from that.
Yes.
It saved me from that dysfunction.
Yeah.
And I have to be grateful for that. And, I think that there's still a lot of days, I don't want to say a lot of days, but some days where I'm like, I really miss this, and I really miss that, and I really miss this. But at the end of the day, I wake up every morning knowing that I don't have to be miserable. I don't have to be with somebody that's miserable.
Right. I think you would have been miserable. You're really kind of a free spirit. And you let your... God, you look 35. You told me your food. No, I'm not going to say, but geez. But yeah, you do. You let your inner person shine, and he probably would have stomped that out of you. Cause
over time. Probably, yes.
It would have been horrible.
Because if that person is unhappy with themselves, they're going to take that out of you. I can probably say because the person I was with before, the 10 years, took that out of me.
Right.
And that's not who I want to be. I would rather wake up every morning knowing that, I don't want to really pinch the guy's nose next to me and suffocate him at night. Because tomorrow would make it better. You know what I'm saying? You totally know what I'm saying.
I do. That was my first marriage. It's like, how can I get know.
How can I push you down the stairs and it look like an accident?
Look like an accident. Not that he's a bad person, but oh gosh, he's remarried now and has a baby on the way.
Really? Wow. Is he in here still?
No, he moved to Florida. So he's in Florida, and my daughter's in Florida. My son's in Australia, and then I still have Jake. He's here with me, but yeah, and that's the interesting part about all this whole. And then I've applied. Here's another one. Let's go back and revert to the whole job thing. Trying to get work back home. Should I move back home? So I applied for 2, jobs back there.
Where's back home?
In Idaho.
Do you want to go to Idaho?
Right.
Idaho?
I don't think
No,
I would
Idaho.
go to Idaho. It snows and it's cold. I mean, my dad's there, and my best friend Jody's there, but at the same time, do I really want to move home? So I didn't get either one of those jobs. And at first, like when she called me last week, I was kind of dreading it, like, please don't. And then when she left a message because the phone did go through. I listened to the message and she's like, sorry, we can't hire you at this time. And I thought, thank God. But then at the same time, I thought, what?
Why not?
Why?
What the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah, what is it? Why did you not? And then that kind of set me back too, when at the same time, it probably really has nothing to do with anything. It could be that I live, 2 states away, and they just want someone that's closer or more experienced. Or that I told her, honestly, Nicklin, I don't want to teach special education. I would rather
And that's okay.
teach English, so I need to just get out of that.
So you need to follow your guide. Here's the thing. Don't be unhappy doing something because you know you can do it.
Right, or it pays the bills.
Yeah. And I think that's how a lot of us live our lives. I mean, I was grateful that I had a job because it paid my bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it really wasn't what I wanted to do because I started out in one position, moved to another position, and then moved to another position.
Why are you not doing film stuff? You're good at it, and people like you a lot.
I could be. I'm thinking about going back, but I'm not really sure yet. I really like doing this. This is really a big thing. I actually thought about starting another. I'm starting another podcast called Five Shots, 5 Questions. It's kind of a comedic thing. But then, like this weekend, I started thinking maybe I should start one called the Pink Slip, and let people talk about how and why they think they got there, and let's change this. Let's change this perspective of how a company can take advantage of somebody,
right,
and not treat them properly. Here, and my thinking is, if I leave a company, I'm supposed to give a 2 weeks notice because that's what's proper. But yet, if a company wants to terminate me, they don't have to give me 2 weeks pay.
Right, no, they do.
So, why is that respect given if it's not extended?
Right. I don't know. I just think that sometimes adults in those type of positions are just great big kids and they have ego problems and they just, I don't know, they want to bully you.
Absolutely. It's a bullying system.
It is a bullying system, and this is another thing. Working in the school systems, adults talk about kids being bullies.
But yet we're bullies.
At the same time, yeah, they're the biggest bullies.
I can be a mean girl. I absolutely know it.
I've never seen you be a mean girl, but I trust your judgment.
No, I mean, I just think we get sucked into it.
No, you do. You get sucked into it. You get sucked into the gossip, and then, you walk up, and they whisper, and this, especially in a school environment, it's so weird. It's like, really? I mean, I thought I left junior high 20-something years ago.
We don't ever leave it.
No, you don't. You don't ever leave it, and that's the hard part. And it's just a great big old mess. And it's not just in schools. It's like, everywhere.
It's life.
It's life. Life does throw you that curved ball, and right now I'm ready to catch it. I want to catch it and throw it back and say "fuck you."
Yeah, absolutely. That's the cool thing about it. Is here's the thing: you're capable of doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
And definitely right now, at this point in your life, even though it may not feel that you're in that position, you are.
I think so.
You really are. You're in control.
Yeah.
You are absolutely in control of what you allow happens to you.
Yes.
And how to get past it and how to move past it.
Right. No, for sure. That's true. I need to work on my relationships in that regard, but everything else, I mean, I've proven to myself that I can do many, many things, so why not this too?
What do you think you need to work on your relationships in that regard?
I don't know. I get people that ask me out, and I won't even go on a date. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go out with you. But then I freak out, and then I get nervous. I don't know. I'm weird, I guess.
You know what? I think it's an age thing.
Do you really?
Absolutely. I do. I really do. I think that I am I have actually, since him and I broke up, I really haven't been involved with anybody I'm going on 6 years. 6 years. And, I kind of try to throw myself out there. I really do. But then I start thinking, this is just too complicated. Do I really want to put my foot forward in this? I mean, I went out with a guy and it was okay. And then, I got, messages of basically it was kind of like every other text was da-da-da-da-da, fuck buddy, da-da-da-da-da, fuck buddy, da-da-da-da-da, fuck buddy, da-da-da-da-da. So if you want to have sex, you at least need to give me an hour's notice. And I'm sitting there thinking, dude, at my age, I'm like 52. That comes in 5 minutes, and it's gone. I don't have an hour to give you notice.
Is that what he said to you? Give me an hour's notice?
Yeah, give me an hour's notice. Because I'm like, what? What? I mean, the conversation never went past that one comment.
Is he married?
No.
Oh, okay.
Give me an hour. I'm assuming it's the Viagra.
Well, that makes sense.
However, it's like I said, it's like, dude, at 52, I'm driving down the road and I think, oh my God, I'm horny. I need to get laid. Drive 5 minutes. It's like, okay, it's gone.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't have a problem with that, getting sexually aroused. I'm always thinking about sex, so that's not a thing for me. I think it's just like, all right, if I put myself out there, it's just going to end up like the last one. And it doesn't, I don't know, somebody said something about, on social media about giving the guy 5-6 months. Okay, you give the guy 5-6 months, you have sex, you have great sex, and then they still are completely whacked out.
Well, have you ever, maybe it's about writing down what you want in a partner.
I've done that.
Did it work?
No. Okay, universe, attract to me who you think I should be with.
But maybe it's what you, okay, so in a lot of instances, we write down what we don't want in a partner. So when we write that down, we tell the universe that's what we're attracting.
Well, I do have a friend that I've dated before, off and on, that I do spend a lot of time with. In fact, they're at my house right now, digging up the papers so we could do a really cool walkway. And I love this guy to pieces. But as far as long term, I don't know. And then I keep telling myself, okay, so am I... For a long time there, I was like, okay, how do I get rid of this guy so I can go date other people? But the thing is that my worst day with this friend of mine, this really good friend of mine, is better than what anyone else in this town can give me.
So maybe the universe is telling you something.
I don't know if I want to go there.
Maybe you need to ask the universe, is this where I'm supposed to go?
I haven't done that yet, so maybe I should do that. Is this what I'm supposed to do?
Because if this is the person that's supposed to be in my life, my partner,
right,
then let me know now so I can stop searching. And, it's not a bad thing. Because, I do that often, and I kind of think about, the ex before, and kind of like, that, what's that movie called, it had Anna Faris in it. It basically said if you didn't meet your partner by a certain number of people, that you're probably never going to meet him. And so she starts going back to her little black book kind of thing of
right.
all the people in her past. You remember the movie? I can't remember the movie.
I know the movie you're talking about, yeah.
You know, and I really started thinking about that. I thought, well, maybe I missed that opportunity. So you get in touch with all your old boyfriends and all your past boyfriends. Maybe I missed that.
Right.
Was I sleeping during that time?
Or was I with this other person that's putting in papers in my backyard?
Right. So maybe that's what you need to do. Just ask the universe.
Yeah,
just, you know what? Just, I'm going to trust you to guide me.
All right, universe, tell me.
You know, if this is the person that is my one and only.
Or do I even want a relationship? Someone told me, you know what, Wendy, I think you don't want a relationship. I think you like the idea of a relationship. I think you like the company, but you also like your freedom, and that's true. I live by myself. I've lived by myself since I got divorced 5 years ago, and I have a routine.
Right.
I like to get up in the morning, do my thing, you know. It's the same routine every day. Work out, do this, do that, okay, now this, that. And then someone else is there. It's like, dude.
Right. It's almost awkward because I kind of sometimes think about, oh man, it really would be nice to have somebody to cuddle with. And then I roll over and I think, yeah, but this bed is all mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to share. I don't have to make you breakfast.
Well, this friend of mine makes breakfast and dinner. He's actually pretty great, actually. He's a pretty good friend. But I just don't trust the guy. I don't trust him. We've had a weird past, and he doesn't trust me either. So it's like, yeah, how do you get past that?
Maybe you need to just talk about it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
Well, maybe you just need to say, if I need to talk about this, you know, let's instigate this conversation. You know, and I'm not talking about to that person, but to the universe, because the universe will help you manifest it in whatever way it needs to be manifested.
True, and then you can go back to the whole age scenario and think, okay, do I just like the idea of love? Do I want to play around and meet someone new because you get that feeling that you are alive? Or do I want this comfort that's comfortable and non-intimate, but everything else is there? So, I don't know. It's awkward. I don't know. I'll ask the universe tomorrow, and I'll definitely let you know.
You should totally. No, actually, you should ask him tonight. It'll come to you tonight. You should totally ask it tonight before you go to sleep, because a lot of our answers come.
No, you're right.
When we sleep.
That's true.
You know.
For sure.
I absolutely believe that. You know, I actually went to she's a clairvoyant. She's clairsentient, clairaudient, and clairvoyant. And so, like, when we were talking, you know, she says, you tend to wake up a lot around 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, you're right, I do. She says, that's because people are talking to you.
Mm.
That's because your angels are talking to you, and that's the time to get up and write.
Mm.
Because there's a message in there for you. There's absolutely a message. So,
listen to it?
I have, but I haven't.
You haven't written it down.
I haven't written it down.
Right.
But I absolutely wake up a lot. Like, okay, I'm 3 o'clock in the morning. And really, it's about designating the space to sit down and write.
Yes.
I now have been able to, this used to actually be in the back of my house, but you could hear my dogs a lot in the background. And so I thought, okay, now it's time to clean out this room and move everything up here. And so I moved everything in this room, and now I have a space to write and create, and, you know, and it's a lot of the creative stuff for me, and,
it's
you know,
space.
The film stuff, my comedy stuff, you know, I joke about this is my I Love Me walls. You know, it's definitely a creative space for me. So.
You got a nice shoe collection going on?
I absolutely do. I do. I don't ever wear them anymore. So.
Pretty cool looking shoes over there.
It kind of makes me sad because, you know, the weight issue kind of takes away from that. So
I think you look fine.
So
I think you're too hard on yourself.
I am. I'm much harder than I used to be. And I would probably say for me that came with before I met the relationship before, my 10-year relationship, I felt pretty confident about me, and I didn't care about the size I was. I mean, yes, I thought I was a little overweight, but it didn't bother me that I was overweight because I was still very happy and sexual. And then when I got with that 10-year relationship, I had a tummy tuck, and my perspective changed of myself. And it was like, all of a sudden, I wasn't this person that I used to be. So I took that away from me. And so, yeah, I think I'm a lot more harder on myself than I should be. But I'm getting past it. Because this might just be me for the rest of my life. You know? I got an offer from that 10-year relationship of, hey, you're 50 this year. Do you want to go somewhere special? And I said, oh, I want to go to Ireland. And then it was kind of like a comment of me being fat. And I went,
but only in your mind.
And I saw one day I went kind of, this might be who I am for the rest of my life. You either love me now or not at all.
Did he say something about that?
Yeah, he's the one that said something about me being fat.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, you either love me for this now, in a whole, because this just might be me for the rest of my life. Because if you can't love me for that, then you're not a good person. You're not a nice person.
Yeah, what if you get cancer or some sort of godforsaken disease?
I don't know. I have a thyroid problem.
Well, I have a great doctor that I'll give you her number. She helped me actually last year a lot. I was really heavy and I lost about 25 pounds. And I gained it all back except for a little bit. But I've been dieting again. But yeah. Oh.
I go to a doctor. I had lost 65 pounds.
Holy smokes.
And then I ended up falling off a ladder and injuring my back. And so slowly over time I put that weight back on. And so now I'm back to the same doctor. I go to a bariatric doctor and I'm now down 20 pounds since I started it in January. So I'm pretty happy with my results right now.
I think you look good. In fact, when you opened the door, I was like, holy smoke, you've lost weight. That's what I was thinking. For sure. I mean, yeah, I think you're just a bit hard on yourself, but we all are. I mean, there's things about
I think we are all our own worst enemy.
Yeah, I can't even go on freaking Sprouts without having a panic attack because there's people that just
judge you?
Yeah, judge me. I hold my breath when I go to the store.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I have
you look great.
About me that, yes, but I have these weird psychological things that I've put upon myself, and now it's getting worse to where it's affecting my whole viewpoint, and it really sucks.
Are you obsessive compulsive?
I don't know what it is, but
I am.
Well, I mean, it could be. It's just
mine is definitely an outlook of this loop that plays in my head.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a protective mechanism or something that I've created or if it's real. It's probably real.
Maybe it's a shield.
I don't know. Maybe it's true. Maybe like when they're like, oh, God. And then it's all real. But then I think, well, who are you to say anything about me? And just quit being an asshole is really what I want to say to people. But, I don't know.
So here's my question for you is that when you look at people, do you do that to them?
Yeah, my son asked me the same question. He's like, Mom, it's just because you judge people. And then someone called me a judgmental cretin, which I thought was really hilarious. Because I had to look up the word cretin. I never heard that. I was like, this is great. Okay, but no, I might, probably a little bit. And that's only, okay, good point. And I think that it is a defense mechanism. Like, okay, you're right. But then, yeah, okay, I probably do.
So think about this. We tend to attract people. Okay, here's the saying. We attract the love that we think we're worth.
Yes, I know that.
So, do you think that we attract the judgment that we think we judge?
Maybe a little bit, but not so much. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. But in a way, okay, what if I did find the answer to that? then I would move past it, and then it wouldn't be an issue. So am I holding on to it so I don't have to
Right.
change and grow?
But maybe that's a protective thing.
It is it's totally protective.
Because a lot of us do that, you know. Have you ever heard of the book called "You Are a Badass"?
No, but I should probably read it.
You absolutely should read it. It's called Jen Sincero. She wrote this book called "You Are a Badass," and really it basically talks about how we are about in life of you know, kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, how we think of ourselves. I'm unlovable. So people don't love me, blah, blah, blah. So what do we tend to do? We tend to create this body image or this life image of us, like Fortress of Flab. You know, I've now created this insurance that nobody's going to love me because I'm fat.
You're not fat, though.
No, but you see what I'm saying? I mean, that's really kind of like a perspective from her book.
No, for
you know, like, or we think that sex is dirty and sex is bad. You know, so for, you know, I'm a sex pot, but yet sex is dirty and sex is bad. So I should feel guilty because every time I have sex with somebody, it makes me feel good, but yet at the same time it makes me a slut.
No, I don't think that. I think...
But I think that a lot of us do that for ourselves.
No, for sure. Absolutely. I think we all do that. And that's the hard part, is that when you do go out there and you meet someone, you know that they're going to have those things about them. And then you're like, do I really want to deal with this about this person? Or is it just easier to just sit at home and, you know, do my own thing and keep my routine?
But we spend a lot of our time at home as women. I mean, as women, as older women, we spend time at home because it's protective. It's safe.
Yeah, it is safe.
It's an environment for us that is created.
Yes, I do create my own environment. I certainly do.
To be safe.
Yeah.
You know, not to be hurt. It's definitely a shield that we create.
Yeah. No, for sure. And then it just kind of, you know, I don't know. Life is just interesting.
Isn't it?
It is. It's so interesting. But then I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with that routine. And I'm happy with, I could probably be single for the rest of my life. It's the sex that gets in the way because I want to have sex.
Who doesn't want to have sex?
I enjoy it. I need it. I'm very sexual. I like sex in every shape and form and whatever. But at the same time, you know, I'm not bisexual, but at the same time, I think guys put that lock on women too. Well, she'll have sex with me, so she'll probably have sex with this guy or that guy, but it's not true.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We're not whores. We just like, you know.
I'm picky.
We're picky.
I'm picky. And
absolutely.
that's definitely what a lot of men don't get. Because
they don't get it.
Here's the thing. Because, you know, here's the thing. That graphic thing is, just because you can stick your dick in anything doesn't mean that I want any dick stuck in me.
Mm-hmm.
It's this lock and key syndrome.
Yeah, for sure.
And where men can think that
and they will.
It's okay that I can do this, and do this. Where women want to say, I'm really looking for that key that's going to fit my lock and make me feel good.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm looking for something that's going to fit, not something that's just going to fill.
Right. And, you know, the best part about sex is the intimacy. It's the kissing and the passion and the falling in love and it's the fun part. It's not just, okay, let me rub you a little bit and then, ooh, there we go. It's like, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that.
Here, let me push your buttons. No, that's not how that works. Are you tuning a radio? Because that is not a radio. My nipples are not a radio.
I think they think that. And then the sad thing is, well, you know what, too? Let's turn it around, men as well. I think they're just as insecure and have that shield up like we do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, absolutely. So when they go to date you, they'll date you for a short amount of time. And I'm speaking of someone in particular. They'll go date you for a short amount of time. And then, you know, when it gets too comfortable, then they find something wrong with you. Oh, well, you're insecure. So they have to break it off with you, and then they go date someone else. And then it's like, I don't know. I think they put up the walls too, especially when we all get older. I mean,
here's the thing. I think a lot of us allow ourselves to be broken. And,
yeah.
and here's the thing. If you continue to say that you're broken, you will always be broken.
You'll always be broken. Yeah,
so if you're better off saying, I am redefining myself. I'm growing. I'm healing. Yes, that might have been a terrible relationship. That might have been a terrible past.
Right.
But we now have to start saying, I'm growing, I'm healing, I'm redefining myself. I'm discovering what I want.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when we're sitting here saying, I'm broken, I'm dysfunctional, you know what?
It's easy to say.
We will always be broken and dysfunctional.
Yes.
I really have studied a lot in the last couple of years on the laws of attraction, and let's think about this in the financial perspective. If you always say that you're broke, you will always be broke. You will always be struggling with money. However, if you try to redefine that and say, today it's not in my budget, but tomorrow's better, then your life starts to change. Then we start to accept things differently. We start to grow differently. So, because, one of the things that I, in my last job is with my employees is I definitely, you smelling the grass?
Yeah.
With my employees, I definitely have them read positive cards. And one of the things is, be careful what you say because the universe is listening.
They are listening. And be careful what you put on social media because they're listening too.
And absolutely, because people are ready to judge you with what you put out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So you just mess with them a little bit.
Right. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm having a terrible day. Thank God I don't have a gun.
Well.
What does that mean? Does that mean you want to kill yourself? Or does that mean that the people that... The people that I know that I don't really like should be grateful that I don't have a gun. So, let's talk about this because people start to create a conversation in their head.
Oh, yeah. For sure they do. But I mean, I don't know. I think that it does pretty much take a lifetime to figure yourself out. And for me, as far as getting out of that comfort zone, I don't like the panic attacks when I go to Sprouts. Why just Sprouts? I have no idea. I don't like it. I freak out. My pulse races.
Do you think that only skinny people shop at Sprouts?
No. All kinds of people shop at Sprouts. Some really eclectic, interesting, nice people shop at Sprouts. It's not that. It's me. I'm putting that barrier on myself. But then, I don't know. There's a lot that I have to figure out, and I'm not sure. It's like, okay, Wendy, look at what you've done. Look at what you've accomplished. Look at what you can do. You put your mind to something and you do it. So why not walk into that store and think that you are a badass, like that book?
Absolutely, you are a badass. I absolutely recommend that book to anybody who can get it.
Yeah, for sure, and have that sort of mindset. I don't know. I think it's some things that I have to work out and deal with. Some PTSD stuff, past things that are coming up.
Me too.
That I've had suppressed, but now it's like, oh, hey, look, this used to happen to you, and now it's so vivid. It's like, oh my God, how did I shut that off for 5 years? But now it's right here, like a movie.
But how do you change it?
That's the thing.
Let's rewrite the movie.
Okay, I want to rewrite that.
So here's the thing. When that movie comes to your head, let's talk about this. When that movie comes to your head, now's the time to get this book and start rewriting that script. How do you want it to end? How do you want to change the ending?
I really just kind of want to forget about all of that stuff and like it never happened.
But
I go back to the way I was.
Here's
before.
the thing: you can't forget that because you know why? Let me tell you why you don't want to forget it. Because it made you a stronger, better person.
No, it did for sure, but
so here, it was only a stepping stone.
What do you think if I wrote that person that caused that trauma for me a letter and told them all the stuff that they've done?
I think you should absolutely do it.
Mail it to them.
You don't even have to mail it.
I know. I want to. I just want to. Like,
but maybe you should.
The other day. And
so here's the thing. You have a choice. Write 2 letters. One that has his address on it and the other one that doesn't.
And burn them both.
You don't even have to burn them. Put them in a mailbox.
What good's it going to do? See, and I was telling my friend about that, and he immediately cut me off. He's like, you realize, and this is what, I know he's going through stuff too, but this really pisses me off about him, is that it's like, okay, don't shut me down before I'm even done with my thought, and then tell me what you think. I don't know what's going on with him at the moment, but it's really annoying. So if he's listening, yeah, you're annoying the hell out of me. Just kidding.
Don't piss her off. She knows where you sleep.
I know where you sleep. I know.
She's got a shovel and sod
and a hole and sod and some manure. I'll put that on you. Honey, you'll be mine. No, anyway. Yeah. So anyway, he was just saying that it wouldn't matter. That's not forgiveness. Oh, let me write the letter and I forgive you. That's not forgiveness.
That's not true.
Okay, well maybe it's not forgiveness.
It's release.
It's release. I need to not have that. I mean, some things, some horrible things.
It's release.
And it's like, I don't want to have that in my thought process anymore because I think that's what's making me not want to go into the sprout store.
It's release. I mean, write it. Write it. And write write 1 letter, go down and photocopy it, put it in 2 envelopes, one that has his address in it, and one that doesn't. Or maybe you just need to write one that has his name on it and put it in the mailbox.
I have no clue.
Because now you've released it to the universe, and the universe will take care of it.
That's what I need to do. Okay, so I already know what I'm doing this evening. I'll be writing that letter, releasing it to the universe. I did the same when my mom passed, and you're right, it does help. I was able to sort of manage and maintain the emotions from her death that way, but now I've suppressed this for too long, and it's coming up, boom, hitting me in the face.
Because there's something, it's like the cards that I tell people that I would give my staff, and every morning we would try to pull a card, and people would go, I already got this card. I said, because you haven't learned your lesson. Because the universe is still asking you to hear something.
Maybe.
And maybe the reason it keeps coming up is because it's asking you to hear something, and hear something that you need to release. Because you're holding it in. Okay, here's this part of you that holds it right here. And it hurts. And every time it comes in, you keep holding it because it hurts. So now is the time to write the letter, release it to the universe, and give it away.
I really just want to go to his house and punch him in the face. Can I do that instead?
Absolutely. You could. You want me to do it for you?
Yeah, that's really good. It'll be fun.
I did a show not too long ago called Not My Box of Bullshit. And the pretense of that story definitely came from a counselor that I went to that when I went through my breakup. It was, he says, I am, of course, he says this awesome French accent. I'm going to give you these bucks. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm okay. I have tissue right here. He says, no, I'm going to give you these bucks. This is my bucks. This is my box of bullshit. And I'm like, do I take it? Do I take it? Do I take it? Do I take it? And then I go to reach it, and he goes, why are you taking my box of bullshit?
Are you making this up?
No. This is absolutely true. He says, why are you taking my box of bullshit? This is my box of bullshit. And the reality of that came from, of absolutely, if I hand you this and you take it, I've now relinquished my responsibility. for my bullshit. And I've given it to somebody else, and you can carry my shit.
I'll give it back to him, for sure.
But, so here's the thing. Now's the time for you to give him back his box of bullshit. Write the letter. Heal. It's a healing process. Write the letter and let it go. And give him his box of bullshit back. It's not yours to carry anymore. It's time to heal. It's time to move on. And there's nothing wrong with writing the letter.
I don't think so either. I'm in 100% agreement.
So do it.
So how many people do you...
It tells me at the end how many people listen.
Oh, because they're probably thinking, God, that lady's really schizophrenic.
No, not at all. My listeners have actually average on the range of 20 to 50 a week.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So, and it grows. It's growing.
Good.
You know. But it will tell me at the end of the show of how many people listen to it live. And then as the week goes, it definitely tells me how many people have listened to it. They have the option to listen, download. They have to listen live. They can listen online or they can download it. So it's entirely up to them.
Yeah, I liked the idea when you put it up a few months ago. I thought, wow, that's pretty brilliant.
Yeah. I've been doing it since October, and it's actually been pretty healing. So, like I said, I'm actually ready to do another one called, like I said, I'm doing one called 5 Shots, 5 Questions. It's very comedic
Are
based.
you going to make people do like Jack Daniel's shots?
Absolutely. Well, my basics are gonna be vodka, whiskey, bourbon, tequila. Kind of the basics of alcohol. And so, like, you're going to do 5 shots, and then we're going to talk about 5 questions that are related to real issues.
There you go. That sounds like fun.
And that's kind of my goal. And, like I said, I was telling you, this weekend I started thinking about another one called Pink Slipped.
Yeah.
Where people can talk about, why they feel this. What is it that they think they did? And what is it... And what is it that led up to this?
Well, I know. In a way, as far as, that situation with me, I know what, it wasn't that I'm a bad teacher, it's just that, I'm not supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be there. Unfortunately, the principal is suffering now, because now they don't have a teacher. And, I said, well, you got what you wanted, but at the same time, she's a new principal. She's only been there a couple of years. I don't foresee her being there very long.
I kind of feel that way about my last one. Was don't suffer.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't like to say karma, but in a way, it's sort of
absolutely
they're putting it out into the universe. They're definitely going to get it back
because a lot of the times they don't think about the repercussions of what their decisions made.
No, they don't. They just
my opinion has always been I can't fix what I don't know is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if somebody doesn't know that they're doing something wrong, they can't make improvements. They can't fix it.
And don't make things up to be wrong.
Right.
Because you don't know what's right or what the truth is. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I mean, I'm going to be fine in that regard. There's no shortage of teachers, but at the same time,
it still hurts.
It kind of sucks. Yeah. It does.
We still don't... I mean, here's the thing. You still take it personally.
Oh, yeah, I take everything personally. That's my challenge.
Again, it's not about you. And that's the thing you have to remind yourself. What other people react to you is not about you. It's about them. It's entirely about them.
Well, then she has an issue.
Absolutely, they do. Most of them do. Most of them do. I mean, if you think you have to bully somebody at work,
yeah,
you have an issue.
Where you do feel like every time you're going to work, you're being hazed. It did. It felt like I was being hazed every single day by those stupid catty women. And it's like, really? I mean, one of the girls, she's blonde and pretty, and she hated me the most. And I thought, what is your problem? You're gorgeous. Who cares? I mean, I don't understand what your beef is with me.
Maybe it's because she can see your soul.
She can see my soul.
Mm-hmm.
She knows I'm evil.
She doesn't know you're evil. She knows you're good.
You're evil. No, I'm just kidding.
She knows you're good.
Yeah, I am good, and maybe that's what she didn't like, because she might not be. But that's the thing. I never judged her. I never judged any of those people, and but they always judged me, and it's just like, can I just come do my job?
I just want to come here and do my job and go home.
Yeah, the best part was I had a student, a little 4-year-old, who doesn't speak and only grunts when he talks. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he said one word one day, because you work with this, I worked with him for 2 months, and then finally he said the word yes. I asked him a question, and he said the word yes, and I was just like, oh my God, I was so happy. We all started dancing, I put on the music, we celebrated, yay, he spoke, and he felt good about himself, and then from that day on, every time he saw me when I went to go pick up all the kids, he ran to me and gave me the biggest hug. Because I was making... Because
you made an impact.
I made an impact. And that, to me, is why I enjoy teaching, is the impact that you make, even if it's just that one student. But
one little success a day is a success.
It is a success. But this is why I think that particular person in charge is not going to be successful, because she doesn't see that. She doesn't see
well, people who pick at what's wrong will never see what's right.
No, for sure. She's a nice person. I liked her a lot. She was actually pretty funny. And I could just be saying that it's like I don't want her to fail, but at the same time, she didn't allow me to succeed. So,
absolutely, it's insecurity. That is an insecurity issue where people who don't want other people to succeed. Here's the thing. People who want other people to succeed will always bring you up.
Yeah.
People who are insecure and don't want you to succeed will always bring you down.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I guess I never thought about that in the workplace, but...
It's in life.
Good learning experience.
So, I think that you're on the right path. You'll be good. You'll be fine.
That's why I like hanging out with all those pilots at the airport, because they are so excited about
life.
About life in general. And they're all excited about seeing me learn and progress. It's like, okay, Wendy, they tap your shoulder. You got the helm. You're in control. And it's like last time I was like, am I really flying? Is this really me? And it's like, I've done this before. Why am I doubting myself now?
I think that's human nature. We tend to doubt ourselves, but you need to start working on bringing yourself up.
I do, and it's kind of cool that I think it's great that you did ask me to come, because I do need to write that letter. You're right, because all of that whole past and the trauma that I went through and all those horrible things that person did to me, I really need to get that out, because it's affecting every single area. And then, I'm not saying that I was wrong in my place of employment, because I was. I'm sure I did a lot of bad things, but that I could have done better. And once I get that out, you're right, even if I don't mail it to him, even if I just get that out.
As long as you write it, put it in a mailbox. You don't have to put anything on it. Put it in a mailbox on a blank envelope. It's gone. You've released it.
Yeah.
You've given it to the universe.
I do need to release that.
So it's very funny that we talk about this, is because I've been reading. I do a lot of Audible books.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Shonda Rhimes, The Year Yes, was actually a pretty interesting book. And I don't know if you know who Shonda Rhimes is. She wrote Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder, Private Practice, and there was another show she wrote. But, the thing about that was that she said, it was very interesting because, and you kind of laugh about this, it's about how if you do the Wonder Woman pose for 5 minutes every morning, I guarantee you people will adore you for the rest of the day.
Huh. I'm going to try that.
And I think about that, and I think,
Let's do the Wonder Woman pose right now.
Absolutely, we should. Wonder Woman. I totally have the Wonder Woman song on my phone right now. So, but if you do that 5 minutes every day, people will like it. It raises your vibration, and it's about raising the vibration of who we are today.
There you go. No, for sure. That's good. I should have brought a notebook to write notes down. I'll listen to it later.
Listen to it later. You'll know this all. But I'm so glad you got to come.
Me too. I am too. I'm glad you asked me because I really needed to get through that.
I'd love for you to come back.
Sure.
We can talk about other stuff.
And
talk about life.
Hopefully I will be past some things so we can actually talk about getting past that.
Even if you're not past those things, sometimes talking about it is very healing.
Yeah, it is.
Because it releases it to the universe.
Yeah, because they're really horrible things.
Let's release some stuff.
Do you want me to tell you one part of it?
Do you want to talk about it on air? I can definitely close the show today. We can come back when you're ready to talk about this.
Just imagine, what's the show? Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah,
I have lots of those.
Just think of an episode of Criminal Minds, and that was my life.
Well, I'm going to close this out, and we can talk about this. We can come back and talk about this when you're ready. This is Nicolina Nix, and you're listening to Women, Wit, and Wine. And again, I want to say thank you, Wendy, for coming.
You're welcome.
And I hope this was as beneficial for you as was for me. And we'll have you back again soon.
Good.